So I want to have an honest conversation about Pokemon for a minute and the Pokemon fandom and its obsession with making Pokemon games hard. Before we get into this video, make sure you leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you are new and like the vibes over here on the channel. We got plenty of content to go through if you do end up subscribing, so definitely be sure to go check that out if you do. But also, I'm trying to hit 200K by the end of the year, so definitely any help means a lot. Make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on a single upload over here on the channel, and let's get into it. Pokemon games will never be hard. We gotta accept that. So before we have to get into that conversation, let's actually sit down and talk about Pokemon for a minute. Pokemon is a $1 billion+ company that's tailored towards children, where the games really don't make that much money of the corporation versus the merchandise and everything else that the company has to offer. The directors of Pokemon and the Pokemon games are very aware of the times that we do live in. We live in a time where everything is fast food. You got kids playing Fortnite, and that's the most straightforward and free thing that kids can get a hold of. And if I'm a $1 billion company and I want little Timmy to go ahead and buy one of my crazy Cinderace and Pokemon merchandise, then I definitely want to make the games and the anime somewhat kid friendly. But that's just the business behind it. Let's actually talk about the games. Some of you guys are probably humongous fans of Smogon's formatting when it comes to Pokemon single battles. And while that is a good thing, you have to remember that Smogon is a grassroots type of meta game. It's not an official Pokemon thing. It essentially takes what the Pokemon has to offer and gives it an optimal move set to make sure it goes well against whatever else is out there compared to it. Plus, the tier rankings are all based on usage, so it's not really like a good, you know, it's whatever. And Pokemon's main competitive format is VGC and or doubles. Now, going back to the directors thing, you have to remember that they have been doing this game developing thing for a while, and they have to sit there and have to find a way to make sure that Pokemon, every single new Pokemon game, appeals to the general audience. And I hate to say this for all the people who are like 18+, you all aren't the general audience. Well, you are, because you're still gonna buy Pokemon for your children, but I'm pretty sure you probably have noticed, I don't know if anybody else has like little siblings or like little or children that play Pokemon. They don't play Pokemon how we used to play Pokemon. Like I said, they would much rather play Fortnite or watch Minecraft videos online. Like, that's what they like to do now. We live in a time where everything is kind of surface level. Kids kind of want that instant gratification. They want to watch what they want to watch, and they're gonna play what is fun to them. And unfortunately, to make Pokemon hard, it would ideally make Pokemon not fun. Now watch this. We have two good examples of really good, or three good examples of really good Pokemon hard ROM hacks within all of Drayano's catalog, but most recently Pokemon Renegade Platinum, which is the best hard Pokemon game, fresh experience and all that. But then we also have Radical Red and Pokemon Unbound. These games are hard in the sense of they're able to scale, they're able to limit, they're able to take whatever the Pokemon has to offer and optimize them for play against you, the opponent. And they also give you ways of building your own Pokemon. And I guess if you want to make them overpowered, you can, or at least have a chance to keep up with the AI, because the AI is always changing. And while that sounds good in theory, I don't think that's fun. And I hate to say this, grinding in games are not fun. I want to show a hands of who here has played vanilla Persona 5, not Persona 5 Royal, because if you notice, Persona 5 Royal is an amazing Japanese RPG. Unfortunately, Persona 5 Royal is more it's more streamlined to the casual / new player experience than the original Persona 5 is. If you play the games, they're vastly different in terms of pacing, and I guess more Persona 5 Royal is a lot more easier to Persona 5. The JRPG itself is not really that popular. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people here have caught a lot of good games that are in the Japanese RPG genre boring. And Pokemon, compared to those games is probably a worse experience than a regular Japanese RPG, but it's easier to get into because guess what? You know all the Pokemon, you know all the characters, you know that all you have to do is pretty much just press A and you're done. And I don't know if anybody else has figured this out, but unfortunately there's a humongous balance issue when it comes to Pokemon. Within the next generation, we're actually going to be hitting over 1,000 Pokemon. And I'm sorry to say this, but in order for Pokemon to be any type of challenge and or any type of hard, it would need to go or to undergo a humongous balanced change. Pokemon right now has 1,000 Pokemon creatures, over maybe 1,000 Pokemon moves. Those Pokemon creatures have literally like 6 or 7 different substats that actually have to be changed and modified in order for them to be good in the first place. But then these moves also have stats that have to play on whatever Pokemon it's on to be able to get the maximum potential out of that Pokemon. And I hate to say this, but some Pokemon just are better than others. It's true. Whether it's stats, move pool, move sets, like it sucks, but some of your favorite Pokemon are terrible compared to a Landorus T. It just is what it is. Like, the thing's trash. And in order for Pokemon at this point in time to be hard, I would imagine that they would have to go back and they would have to modify every single Pokemon or every single fully evolved Pokemon and optimize their move pools, optimize their stats to where they can actually hang out with legendary Pokemon, especially when they're using legendary Pokemon in competitive as well for VGCs and whatnot. And that's just too much. That's too much to do, especially under Game Freak and the Pokemon companies, I guess, 1 game per year or 2 game per year rule. And for those who don't know how the gaming industry works, DLC actually counts for that actually, which is why they were able to get away with giving you 2 season pass DLC games and then an entirely new presentation a couple months after Count Chandra come out. That works. Now you might be thinking, oh Nick, but what about the challenge mode in Pokemon Black and White 1 and 2? Well, think of it like this, right? I'm trying to see what challenge mode has to offer. Challenge mode increases some opponents' artificial intelligence and the level of their Pokemon, starting from 1 level and reaching 5 levels by the end of the game. Gym leaders and Elite Four members will also have an extra Pokemon on their team, as well as their different movesets and held items. Their IVs are also increased to 30. This mode is unlocked after defeating the champion in Black and White 2. Now my problem with that is a lot of you all right now, I have a question for everybody here, right? Because challenge mode is essentially a new game plus, right? In order to play a new game plus, you have to beat the game, correct? If you want a challenge mode, I have a question. How many of you all have stopped playing any 3D Pokemon game past X and Y? I know a lot of people that have stopped playing Sun and Moon. I know a lot of people that have never played Ultra and Ultra Moon. I know a lot of people that can't get past a certain level in Sword and Shield. Not because they're trash at the game, because the games themselves are boring. Come on, you see what I'm saying? How many people have not even touched Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee? To get a new game plus, you would have to beat the game. And if you can't sit here and play through the game in the first place, what are we doing here, dog? Now, some of you guys are gonna sit there and talk about scaling in Pokemon. And scaling in Pokemon, while that isn't a bad idea, because at some point the world is going to scale to the opponent or scale to the characters levels, I guess your highest levels and whatnot. Certain Pokemon won't be able to be caught, especially when you can actually trade any given time in the game. So imagine I give you a level like 45 Pokemon when you have like 20s, you're never catching up to me. Plus that Pokemon that I just gave you will not obey you. And you could say something about the experience share, but the experience share is not a problem. The problem is people don't understand that making the experience share mandatory is actually a good thing. You have to understand that you all are like, some of you guys are complaining about Pokemon being too easy or grown as hell. Do you really have the time to sit there and grind 3 to 4 hours to grind 1 single Pokemon and probably overlevel the starter as well? Come on, remember how we used to play Pokemon? You have to put a Pokemon, your newly caught Pokemon, you couldn't even like do anything with it because it was trash. put it in the back of the goddamn team, give it the experience share, use your 2 or 3 busted mons, run through that, and by the time you get to use your new Pokemon, you've either already seen 3 or 4 substitutes for that mon and or just never used it because your other 2 or 3 mons are already over leveled. Come on, remember that. Whereas in X and Y and Auras, with the experience share being on and off, you know, you could literally just sit there and turn it on and you would be either around the Elite Four team members and or maybe like 2 or 3 levels above the recommended, but even then by the time you get to the champion, you're at their levels. So what are we doing here? I don't mind giving the gym leaders an extra Pokemon. That's definitely not a bad idea. And giving them held items and different movesets in a new game, plus maxing out their IVs. I don't mind that at all. I think that's a really good thing, but I think that should be for new game plus. That should be for the people who want to go back and replay through their Pokemon adventure, because unfortunately we're in a time where, guess what, little Timmy is not trying to sit there and grind hours on end just to press A when they can go play Fortnite and or whatever free mobile game and just get the instant gratification from that. The kids of today are not us, and so therefore just leave it alone. Pokemon will never be hard. And to all the Pokemon ROM hackers, listen, look at Renegade Platinum, look at why people love Radical Red, look at what made Unbound good, and literally just copy that format and make the games harder. That way, when all these people that are complaining can have at least some type of out. Everybody don't like ROM hacks and fan games until ROM hack and fan games do Pokemon games better. And it's like, if that's where you're at, then that's where you're at. But some of you all are projecting your dislike for Pokemon, but still keep playing it. Some of you all have Stockholm syndromes. I don't know what it is. I don't get it, but leave it alone. We're in a different time now. Pokemon is what, 25, 30 or 25 years old right now. It's appealing to children. It's made more money now than it has when we were kids and consuming it. What are we doing here? Give it up. Pokemon will never be hard. And there you go. Bye.